Well, g'day everybody. Welcome to another windy edition of Australian Paddock. It's a bit blowy today. Summer's hit us with a vengeance. It's going to be 35 today. So today I want to talk to you about nutrient analysis. Now, I've not done any nutrient analysis in the vineyard, but we were having morning tea at one of the vineyards a couple of weeks ago, and I was recommended to do a petiole analysis. So at this time of the year, which is flowering, it's a great idea to check your micronutrients. Now, it sounds like a big, expensive process, but it costs $80. And we use a company, I was recommended to use a company called Petioles. They're based in Australia here in 4 states. So there's 4 labs in 4 states, so it's quite accessible. Now, what they do is they send you a pack, which is pretty simple. I'll show it to you in a minute. And you take your petioles, which is the leaf stalk, send it back to them, and they do analysis. So they're looking for things like your nitrogen levels, phosphorus levels, but they're also looking at things like your trace micronutrients, your manganese, your zinc, your boron, etc., calcium, and they're also looking at toxicity. So, for example, how much chloride is in the soil, which means how much chloride is in your petioles, in your plants while they're growing. And all these things allow you to intervene and adjust. The objective is to get the best fruit, but also to get the best growth, set the plants up for next year. So I'll take you through the process of collecting the petioles, what it looks like. It's not very complicated. We'll send them away for some results. We'll get the results back. We'll see what the results look like, because I don't know. And then we'll see what intervention we need to make to, if any, to correct the imbalances in the vineyard. So let's get stuck into it. So, a petiole, for testing purposes, is the leaf stalk opposite a flowering bunch. Here's the flowering bunch, and here's the leaf stalk. What we want to do is to take this without the leaf, and we need to take a sample of these throughout the vineyard. We'll be taking 100 samples, so that's your petiole. So what we're going to do is we will take this off. It's very important that that is not touching anything metal, the metal wire here. You can't be touching that because that will influence the results. That'll give us a high zinc rating. And then we'll take the flower off, and that's what we want. And we're going to bag that up, and we're going to send them off to the lab. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go down the rest of the rows, and every 2 plants or so, because we have 250 vines, I need to take 100 samples, so roughly every 2 to 3 vines, I'll take a petiole, we'll bag it up, and we'll send it to the lab. Now, to bag it up, Essentials, and there's their address in Dramana on the packet. And here's my petiole. Chuck that aside for a sec. And what they send you in their little kit is a bunch of stuff, if I can get it out with one hand. It's the only problem with these videos, isn't it? So, pretty complicated stuff. There are 5 paper bags, and then they have labels to stick on the bags, which enable you to identify them. If you've got a big vineyard, you can do different samples, like a sample ID, the date sampled, and this information comes back when they email you the results. They also send you a pair of gloves to wear, latex gloves, because you don't want to influence the sample in any way. And they also give you information about how to collect. This is available on their website. You can download it. I'll leave a link. And what to expect when it comes to the results. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting all my samples in my bags, put the labels on, and we'll send them off. So I'll come back to you once we have our results and we can talk through them. So here are the results of our petiole testing. Now, the left-hand section in green shows the results, and the right-hand section in purple shows the ranges that we're expecting. So let's look at the green section in a little bit more detail. At the top we have nitrate nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium and sulfur. Those are the main ingredients that you'll get often in an NPK fertiliser. Now below that we have calcium and magnesium, which have to be within the right range. The next one, sodium, we're looking at levels which have to be under the levels of toxicity. From iron down to aluminium, those need to be within their normal ranges for nutrition. And finally, we have chloride, which also needs to be well below levels of toxicity. Now, the one that we'll zoom in on here is nitrate nitrogen. It's the only value that's outside of the nutrient guidelines at 122 milligrams per kilogram of petiole. And if we look to the right at the nutrition of the nutrient guidelines, we can see that deficient is less than 340 milligrams per kilogram. That means that we are significantly deficient in nitrate nitrogen. Now, what that means is that we can go back into the vineyard and we can rectify that situation. So you can see from the results that we got back that we're low in nitrate. Now, I just want to quickly go over what causes that. My understanding is that the main issue is when we've got the drip irrigation. So the drip irrigation, I think last year, and possibly even this year, although I haven't run it much, is one of the main causes of leaching nutrients away from the soil. If you're basically watering it, you're simply leaching nutrients away, they need to be replaced. And the results clearly show that we're losing nitrate. Nitrate is highly water soluble, which means it's one of the nutrients that's most able to be leached away. So as a result, we've bought some calcium nitrate, soluble calcium nitrate, and I'm adding it to the area just using a watering can. It's because you can dissolve it very, very easily, and hopefully that will simply replace the calcium or the nitrate that was lost. But I'll quickly show you some of the symptoms as well. So by getting the results back and knowing what the problem is, and this is the critical thing about the petiole testing, is now I know what the problem is. I can look at the vines and I can see if there are any visual indicators of low nitrate levels. So I'll show you some of the examples of what I mean. Now I hope you can see with the wind, this leaf is fairly mottled and this leaf has got some burns on it. I don't know if you can see that very well. If we come across to here, you see these leaves here, they look like they are autumn leaves. They're turning yellow and starting to die back. There's another one just there, this leaf just here. Those are indications of nitrogen or lack of nitrogen, even though the results said that nitrogen was okay, but the nitrates were low. The other example, I can't really show it to you, but I can only explain it, is simply a lack of growth. I've seen some stunted growth, or growth, sorry, not stunted growth, more growth starting to slow. And I saw this last year as well. And now I know what the problem is. It's a lack of nitrate. So now I'm able to intervene thanks to the petiole testing. So I really hope that this video has given you an indication of just how important nutrient testing is in the vineyard, and that you can do it at various times. You can do soil testing in the winter, and you can do tissue testing via the petioles during the growth phase. I've certainly learnt a lot, and I'm really happy that I now know what's wrong with my vineyard and also what's right with it, because most of the nutrients, as we could see on the results, were perfect. So thanks again for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to do more and more videos all the time, and like this video, and I'll see you again very, very soon. See ya.